Imagine being so angry at an inanimate object that you kick it. Now imagine that kick leading to your untimely demise. Sounds absurd, right? Well, welcome to the peculiar world of Jack Daniel, the whiskey baron. This is not a tall tale spun at a bar over a glass of whiskey, but the rather ironic story of one of the most iconic figures in the whiskey world, Jasper Newton Jack Daniel. The man who gave us the smooth amber delight known as Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. But even the greats, it seems, have their off days. Picture this. It's the early hours of the morning and Jack's at his distillery. His safe, a stubborn beast of iron and steel, refuses to open. Jack, perhaps after one too many of his own brew, decides to negotiate with his foot. A swift kick, a yelp of pain, and history was made. The toe, once a loyal part of the whiskey pioneer's body, turned traitor. The toe broke, the wound got infected, and what followed was a series of unfortunate events that led to Jack's demise from blood poisoning. The irony is not lost on us. A man who built an empire on the strength of his spirit, brought down by the rebellion of his own toe. You know, they say whiskey is meant to be savored, not rushed. Maybe if Jack had taken a moment, sipped on his drink, and pondered over the stubborn safe, things might have turned out differently. But then again, we wouldn't have this unusual tale to tell. So let's raise a glass to Jack Daniel, the man who left an indelible mark on the whiskey world, and a lesson for the rest of us. A lesson in patience, composure, and perhaps how not to negotiate with unyielding safes. So the next time you're frustrated with your safe or any other object, remember Jack. Maybe just take a deep breath instead, or pour yourself a glass of whiskey. Jack would approve. So let's raise a glass to Jack's toe, the smallest yet most lethal part of his body. You see, after Jack gave that safe a good old Tennessee boot, he found himself with more than just a bruised ego. Yes, indeed, our whiskey baron had broken his toe. Now, I don't know about you, but I've stubbed my toe a fair few times and it's no picnic. But for Jack, it was more than just an ouch moment. It was the beginning of the end. Imagine this. You're the king of whiskey, you've got a booming business, and then bam, your toe turns traitor. It wasn't content with just being broken. No, it had to go and get infected too. Talk about adding insult to injury. Now Jack, being the tough guy he was, probably just tried to walk it off. But as we all know, ignoring a problem doesn't make it go away. As the infection spread, Jack's health deteriorated. It was as if his toe had invited some unwanted guests to the party and they were making a real mess of the place. Despite the best efforts of the doctors, the infection had spread into his bloodstream, a condition we now know as septicemia or blood poisoning. Now let's take a moment here to appreciate the irony. Jack Daniel, a man whose life was steeped in spirits, taken down by the smallest digit on his foot. It's almost like a tragic comedy, right? I mean, if Shakespeare were alive, he'd probably write a play about it. The tragic tale of the traitorous toe, perhaps? But let's not dwell on the morbid. After all, Jack wouldn't want us to. He was a man who knew how to enjoy life, and his legacy lives on in every bottle of that smooth Tennessee whiskey. So, let's remember him as he was, a pioneer, a legend, and a man with one hell of a kick. And that, folks, is why you should always remember to wear steel-toed boots when kicking safes. Or better yet, don't kick safes at all. Despite his unusual demise, Jack Daniel left behind a legacy that is far from laughable. In the world of whiskey, Jack stands tall, not just as a man, but as a symbol of dedication, hard work, and a dash of Southern charm. His name graces the labels of one of the most popular whiskey brands in the world, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey, a testament to his passion for crafting spirits that are as smooth as a southern drawl on a balmy summer's eve. Now let's paint a picture of the man himself, Jack Daniel, the whiskey baron. He was an entrepreneur, a visionary, and a man of impeccable taste. He was also, unfortunately, not the best when it came to handling heavy, unyielding objects such as safes. Jack's professional life was a blend of triumphs, much like the fine whiskey he crafted. He established his distillery at the tender age of 20, and it wasn't long before his whiskey was winning gold medals at the World's Fair. His legacy is a testament to his enduring spirit. Not even prohibition could put a cork in his success. Yet, for all his professional acumen, Jack's personal life was marked by a certain clumsiness. Picture this. A man who could handle the complexities of distilling whiskey yet was bested by a safe. It's almost poetic, isn't it? But let's not dwell on the irony of his demise. Instead, let's raise a glass to the man who left an indelible mark on the world of spirits. a man whose legacy continues to live on, one bottle at a time. Let's toast to the enduring popularity of his whiskey, a testament to his mastery of the craft. Let's sip on the rich, mellow flavors, savoring the fruits of his labor and chuckling at the irony of his fate. So here's to Jack Daniel, a man who knew how to make a fine whiskey, but sadly didn't know how to handle a safe. If there's one thing we can learn from Jack's story, it's this. Life is unpredictable, so you might as well enjoy it while you can. In a world where the toe can turn traitor and a hearty kick can kickstart a series of unfortunate events, it's important to remember that life often doesn't go according to plan. Jack Daniel, the whiskey baron, had a life that was as smooth as his whiskey, until he met his arch nemesis, a seemingly innocent safe. In a fit of frustration, he kicked the safe, and the rest, as they say, is history. His toe, which had served him faithfully for years, decided to rebel. It broke, got infected, and eventually led to his untimely demise. Now, isn't that a kick in the head? Or should we say a kick in the toe? While we might chuckle at the absurdity of it all, there's a valuable lesson to be learned here. Life is a lot like whiskey. It's full of unexpected twists and turns, and sometimes it can leave you with a bitter aftertaste. But just like a good old glass of whiskey, it's also meant to be savored, enjoyed, and appreciated for its complexity. So the next time you find yourself grappling with life's challenges, remember Jack Daniel, remember his story, his legacy, and his unfortunate encounter with a safe. And instead of kicking the obstacles in your path, perhaps take a moment, pour yourself a glass of whiskey, and contemplate the unpredictability of life. And as you raise your glass, remember to toast to Jack Daniel, the man who taught us that even in the face of adversity, life is meant to be enjoyed, one sip or one kick at a time. So here's to life, to whiskey, and to the unexpected twists and turns that make our journey all the more fascinating. And remember, if you ever find yourself at odds with a safe, don't resort to violence. It might just have the last laugh. Well, that's all for today's unusual tale of whiskey and woe. If you're sitting there nursing a glass of Jack Daniels, chuckling about the irony of a whiskey baron meeting his end by an unruly safe, we've done our job right. Now don't just sit there with a smirk on your face, get those fingers moving. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Got a strange story of your own? Drop us a comment. We're all ears. And if you're feeling generous, why not share this video with your friends? They might need a laugh too. But wait, there's more. Hit that subscribe button and become part of our Funny Gateway family. We're serving up fresh, quirky tales every week. So, if you're a fan of the weird and wonderful, you know where to find us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Funny Gateway, the channel that brings you bizarre stories and belly laughs. Until next time, remember, life's too short to kick safes.